Okay, we're opening up the introduction to Derech Eitz HaChaim, the sefer by the Yanuka on the path of life. Tzarich ha'adam shekol ha'izbonenu shelo ve'einav al ha'olam v'habriya yu b'derech Eitz HaChaim. It has to be that a person's way of thinking about and looking at life and how he views reality has to be in this path called the Eitz HaChaim, the path of the tree of life. What is this path? We're going to uncover it, but he's saying that's what the path is called, and that's what your reality has to be about. V'zeu sheyasir me'adam es hamarirus v'yigale lo es harachamim hasovivim oso mikol pina. And this path removes from a person bitterness, like a bitter life. And it reveals to him mercy that's all-encompassing and surrounds him in all aspects of his life. He's got this feeling of rachamim, of mercy from God, because he's on this path called the tree of life, and there's no bitterness in his life. And on this path of the tree of life, you could be zoche, you could be worthy for Torah for its own sake, like pure Torah without alternative, mechanisms that you're trying to finagle in life for your own benefit, but you're doing something for its own sake. This is called a drug of life. They use the word like drug here, like a medicine, a drug of life. Because if you don't go in this path of the tree of life, lo yuchal likanes bavodas Hashem la'mitasa. There's no way you could properly even begin to serve God properly. People are like, oh God, I'm a good person, I'm trying this, I'm trying that. We're saying it's not really always just about that. A good people, yeah, you could still have a bitter life. You want to have not a bitter life? There's a drug of life that will prevent that, and that's involving serving God properly. Shetiyah avodaso l'shem tikun hashchina. That your service for God really has to be not about you. It has to be how you could fix God's predicament, that God's shechina is in a state of exile. V'nachat ruach lifnei Hashem baruch hu, and to bring pleasure before God, to bring God pleasure. We always make our relationship with God about us, but it's really about God. What are we doing for God? How are we helping God's situation out? God's in a situation. Shetiya avodaso l'shem tikun hashchina v'nachas ruach v'nei Hashem baruch hu. Ba'ofen she'ikarev v'yachish b'toraso es haketz ubinyan beis hamikdash. In a way, we have to relate to God that we come close and we touch on the Torahs, the teachings of the end of days and the building of the third temple. Are you involved in that? It's like, imagine if your parent was like sent into exile to a faraway place and they were trying to be rescued and redeemed. Like, yeah, you should be concerned about that. And guess what? If there was a roadmap of how to get them back and what to do to make them an apartment in Jerusalem so they could come back home and be near you, you would be preoccupied with that. So if we're not preoccupied with those specific matters, we don't have a proper relationship with God. V'ikar terchas hatzadikim b'torasam v'sifreihem hakadoshim hi liftoach hasha'arim v'lislol hadrachim likanes et nishmot Yisrael b'derech Eitz HaChaim. And the fundamental hustles and bothers and efforts that all these tzaddikim have been putting in for 2,000 years already, holding on their shoulders the children of Israel, writing books and raising tzedakah and getting villages in Israel prepared for them, all this hard work that they've been doing for 2,000 years. And he says, and writing their holy books and opening up gates and paving pathways for the children of Israel to enter the Eitz HaChaim, this path of tree of life. So he says for 2,000 years, basically, the tzaddikim have been doing all this hustles, writing books and opening these gates of spirituality for us and preoccupied with the well-being of the children of Israel. That's why a rabbi, they say the shorish is rov, like many, they look after the many, is just simply to enter the souls of the children of Israel into this path. Obviously, they say when people are partying, no one wants to party alone. If you have a good party, you want other people to come to the party. These tzaddikim found an amazing party. They found Hashem inside their minds. They found light. They found a great experience. They're just trying to share it. Ki eitzel tzaddikim ein shaychus klal leratzon lekavod o shem la'atzmam v'chol kiyotze bazeh. Because regarding these tzaddikim, these righteous babysitters for the last 2,000 years that we're grateful for, with them there was no worry we should have that they were looking for honor or to make a name for themselves or to become get a verified badge on Instagram and get a lot of followers and get likes and the dopamine from the likes. It wasn't about that for them. They weren't doing it for the likes. They were doing it for something totally different. And tzaddikim today also. We do have tzaddikim on Instagram sharing good Torahs, not to take away from them. But this is their intention, to say, hey, we're here for you. We're here for you, God, and we're here for you, Klal Yisrael. We're not here for ourselves. Ki geus v'ratzon el hamalucha enu shayach ela besama de Musa. Because honor and pride in your ego and wanting to be somebody and like wanting to be a big name or a big shot or to be a king, to be something, that's part of the drug of death. It's like, hey, what drugs are you taking? You know, oh, I'm on ego. I'm trying to get on this podcast with this guy because I just want to get out there. It's like, ooh, man, that's a drug of death. You're attached to a really bad drug. You can get on that podcast for sure, and you could become a big person, but that's not why you should be doing it. You got to be attached to this path of the tree of life. We still didn't even fully understand what the path is, but we're just understanding that there's two paths over here. One is being concerned for God and the children of Israel, and one is being concerned for yourself, if we really want to break it down. Shehu limud shelo lishma. This drug of death is like you're learning not for its own sake, meaning, wow, this guy's doing all this learning all day to become a scholar and giving lectures and all this stuff. He really looks so dedicated to God. God's like, bro, this has nothing to do with me. This guy's just trying to get out there and get the next paycheck or get his name on the wall or get his kids to have honor. So when he dies, he's just not concerned about me personally, God says. But listen, we're not taken away from the pursuit of learning Torah not for its own sake, because we do teach that learning Torah for not its own sake will lead to learning Torah for its own sake. But amnam hatzadikim od kodim sheba'u lechol madregosehem hagadolos. The tzaddikim, even before they got to their great levels, before they were world famous and everything, take of kishabau al dasam nichnasu b'derech eitz hachayim. Once they figured out this path of eitz hachayim, they were right into it. They went right into this path of the tree of life. She derech she'ein ba samad demusa v'geyos. In this path that these tzaddikim chose to take over the last 2,000 years, there was no drug of death and no ego. B'chol terchasam b'giloi haTorah, and all of their efforts and hustles in revealing Torah, he ba'avurenu, is for us, so we could level up. We can get to what they were seeing. Shenizke gam anu lita'omi derech eitz hachayim. So we, me, you, everyone listening, everyone alive today, we could be zocha, we could be worthy to taste, he says, to taste of this path of the tree of life, the Torah lishma, and learning Torah for its own sake, for the sake of something much greater than just our little ego and our atmosphere. So this is just the introduction of what we're about to embark upon, the Derech Eitz Chaim. This whole book is that path. So if we learn this book together, we will have acquired the path, and if we hold and live by this little codex, we can expect a life without bitterness, a pleasant life, a life of chesed, rachamim, of kindness we could share with other people. And I promise you, if you're an American or if you're anyone else or whatever you are, this is the American dream. The American dream is not having a few houses where you could travel and do whatever you want. The American dream is enjoying your brain, the freedom to enjoy your brain, to have a good life.
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind. You want a peace of mind? I guarantee you could find a peace of mind if we go through this book together, or you get your money back.
When did he write that sefer? How long ago?
This sefer was written, well listen, the Yanuka is only about 35 right now. Okay. 36, I don't know, mid-30s. And he only revealed himself about 5 years ago. Okay. But he was 9 or 10 years old. People were chasing him around to listen to his Torah lectures. His mastery of Torah started at a young age. So he's written over 100 svarim, over 100 writings already. I have a handful of them in the house. I'm choosing to start with this one because this is the compacted, consolidated, quick, like, let me start chilling right away. This is like the EpiPen, like the mobile Hatzalah unit.
This is the Waze app.
Yeah, this is like right in. And then once you're tapped in, you could spend the rest of your life just learning his Torahs. And while learning his Torahs, he will weave you through every single Torah and teaching that's ever been written for the last thousands of years, because it's all in his mind. So to get gifted a scholar like the one who wrote this book is a once in every few 100-year phenomenon. And now that this one's been revealed and we have access to him, we got to hold on as tight as we possibly can, because this is a direct plug source for sanity, for wisdom. Otherwise, there's insanity, this is sanity. So we should be worthy to tap into sanity. Meher Yimenu, Amen. Let's go.
Amen.